All right, we're recording. Hey, everybody. My name's Erin Mayer, and it's July 16th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm so excited to hang out with you guys tonight because this is such a passionate topic of mine. Just to give you a quick backstory, but first, you know what I want to do? Why don't we do this? Ready? Drop below where you're from in the chat so we give people time to log on. And then in the meantime, what I'd love to do tonight is do a giveaway. Do a fun giveaway with my absolutely favorite product. And I know there's lots of people that have already messaged me and said you can't get on live tonight. So I'm going to offer this as an opportunity until Saturday, we'll say 9 a.m., just to cover all the time zones, to take a picture of this video, either yourself watching it or me, if you really want a picture of me, you can pick, for your stories. So throw it in your stories on Instagram. If you have Instagram, if you have Facebook, that's totally cool too. My Instagram account is the @ Erin_M_Mayer, MAHER, and hashtag BusyAFMoms. Right? Busy AF Moms. I'm smiling because I see Amelia taking a picture right now. Hashtag Busy AF Moms. And then tag me in it in your best takeaway from tonight. Because I really, I know right now there's such a transition for so many people. Whether it be you've been working from home for the first time ever. Maybe you were a stay-at-home mom before, but now everybody's at home. Maybe the unknown of your kids going back to school, not going back to school. There's so many things coming at us in all different directions that I feel like in a time where a lot of people assumed during quarantine or pandemic and social distancing, oh, I'm going to have all this time to do all this stuff. But all of a sudden you're realizing, and I'm going to excuse my mouth, but I'm going to say it, shit, I'm busier than I was before. So I really want to spend a little time talking about my 3 best tips on how to kind of overcome that. And I can't guarantee you're not going to feel anxiety. And I can't tell you these 3 tips are going to be all solving every problem you have or every challenge you're facing. But I can tell you that it's truly helped me. For those that, so yeah, put a picture in your story. Tag me in your story. I'm going to give a week's worth of Energize out. Energize is a plant-based pre-workout that I have technically for my workouts. But sometimes I do them to, I drink Energize to fold laundry because I don't like to fold laundry. I'm awesome at washing laundry. I'm about 50% at drying laundry the first wash, but I'm really good at washing and rewashing clothes because they stink. Right? And then I'm like, okay, at drying stuff. But when I need to fold, I hate folding. I hate it. I hate folding. I have 6 people in my house. As much as I ask my kids to help and I tell them to help, they half help. And then Brecken comes in, who's my 3-year-old. He's our wild card. He comes and knocks that stuff over and I redo it. So I'll tell you, I do have my Energize right before I need to, like, when I make the commitment to be like, okay, this laundry is going to be done today and it's going to be away. Like, I will not look at it on my floor. That's when I'll have my Energize. So tag me in your stories, your best takeaway from tonight, and then I'm going to raffle off and gift out a week's worth of Energize, which is like gold to me. Okay. So just to give you a little bit of backstory, and I've got some notes. So if I look down, that's why, because I love to talk, especially when I'm excited and passionate. And I don't want to keep you guys here too long because essentially you're busy AF moms and that's why you're on here. So to give you a backstory, I was a general manager for Olive Garden restaurants for 12 years. I worked 50, 60 hours a week at the restaurant. That was in the restaurant with like a 45-minute commute both ways. During that time, I had my children, I had more kids and more kids and more kids, and I did my best to balance it all. And it was crazy because even the days off from the restaurant, I was still the one who got the phone call when the hot water heater went, or when the Board of Health swung by, which, by the way, we kept a really clean restaurant. I was super proud of that, like no problems. But anyways, I was always on. So I always had to be on at my job. And then when I came home, just like all you moms out there and all you people out there, you walk in the door and your job never ends. So you're constantly on the go. So during that time in my life, I had an awakening. Honestly, death staring at us in the face. My husband got really sick. And I had made the decision to make a change in my life. I needed to do something different. And that introduced me to health and fitness. And throughout my time now, over the past almost 6 years, since I really took back my health and my life and my confidence and growing to who I am today and who I want to be, I've learned to balance working a full-time job, 50, 60 hours a week, raising 4 kids, being a partner to my spouse, learning how to work out consistently for the first time ever, and building a business in the middle of all that that's gifted me the opportunity to now be home with my family. And so when you talk about busy, I feel you 1,000%. Like, I feel you. And I know that these 3 tips that have been like game changers for me can truly help you. And what I want to just start off by saying is no matter what happens when you walk away from this, I want to give you some tools for your tool belt. I also want to give you some confidence going into the remainder of the summer and whatever we look ahead towards the fall, right? Because we don't know. And lastly, I want you to give yourself, and I'm going to say it, earmuffs of kids around, some fucking grace. Stop comparing yourself to the perfect mom on Instagram who's making all the baked cookies, doing all the homeschool stuff, all the things. The kids look happy and clean. Everybody looks great. And you're sitting there like, I'm lucky if my kids have lunch and brush their teeth. Like, how can I compare myself? And I want you to know that we're all a mess. We are all struggling. And if we can take a deep breath and embrace that and just realize today we're going to just do our best and work to grow and be better. And this can be applied to anything. Even if you're watching this and you're not a mom, it applies to everything. Just give yourself some grace. So let's take a deep breath. And here we go. We ready? I'm excited. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. I have my notes. So here we go. Number 1. First step is I want to challenge you to look at your week ahead. So pick one day during the week. For my family, it's Sunday, where we look at the whole week coming up and we say, okay, let's set our intentions. What's the day that ultimately we're going to be home for the day? And this is the day where laundry, cleaning, dishes, organization, maybe schoolwork for the kids if they do tutoring. Our kids do summer tutoring. Plan your days to say, this is our day to be home. And then look ahead and say, this is going to be our fun day. This is where we may, go off and do an activity if it's safe in your area where you're living that you can go somewhere. Maybe you go for a bike ride. Maybe you go to the beach. Maybe you plan a picnic, or you do a tent out back and you do a sleep out outside. But plan your week ahead to think, especially with your kids, this is going to be our fun, adventurous day where I'm going to allow the dishes to pile up and look the other way at the laundry that I never wanted to fold anyways, and just live and enjoy. And then make the decision to say, okay, this is the day we're going to buckle down and we're going to get caught up. Because here's the thing. It is not our job, in my opinion, in my unprofessional opinion, but I'm just going to say it, to entertain our children 24/7. Even during a pandemic, especially during social distancing and a pandemic. It is my opinion that's not our job. Our job is to love our families. Our job is to love ourselves. Our job is to do our best. But we are not entertainment for our family 24/7. That shit is draining. And again, when you look on Instagram and Facebook and all these places, and you're seeing these moms that are only showing their highlight reel, which By the way, I'm going to tell you a little secret right now. A lot of those people who are bloggers, right? Because their job and their role essentially to build followers and to have people subscribe to their stuff and get their newsletters, they need to have content to teach you so it keeps having you come back for more. And that's how they get collaborations with companies and businesses so they can get paid for jewelry and nails and hair and all that stuff, right? A lot of them do what's called batching content. And I do this myself. So they'll take mass pictures or they'll do food prepping for like weeks, save it in their camera roll, and then put it as posts or in their stories fresh on a specific day and stretch it out. When you do that and you post in your stories on Facebook or Instagram, it will come up with the original date that you made the content. So if I have something on July 16th that I want to put up, but I made that content, I did that fruit prep July 4th, it'll come up and say July 4th. You can hit that number and move it down and delete it so everybody thinks it's fresh that day. So I'm going to be totally upfront. There have been times where I've done food prep, but I'll acknowledge and I'll say, hey, I did this earlier this week, or I did this last Sunday, because I want people to know, no, I don't have my shit together today. I did not make this today because my house is wild. But a lot of people, that's what they do. So don't stress and think, oh, they've got it all together all day. Yes, there are some people who are really gifted, or they have the support to be able to do those kind of things at home consistently. But a lot of them make that content ahead of time. I digress. So back to what I was saying, because I don't want to lose my notes. Schedule your week ahead of time to know when you're going to have your activity day and when you're going to have your get down to work day. And honestly, our kids, in my opinion, again, my unprofessional opinion, have grown up just like we kind of transitioned to a microwave society where our kids are used to going to the ATM and seeing just money pop out. They don't know where it comes from. They're used to seeing the credit cards being swiped and, oh my gosh, my parents can buy this or my aunt can buy that without ever doing anything to interact for that money, right? Especially now with not going into banks, people aren't going into the banks to ask for cash anymore. It's all digital. So our kids are growing up with that instant gratification. So with that, especially with them being in school and constantly with sports, and a lot of people, a lot of families, their kids were doing 3 or 4 activities in a season. Now all of a sudden everything's halted. And there's a pressure for us to constantly fill that need. There's a pressure for us that we feel like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I have to, be 24/7. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. If anything, I feel like this is a great time for our kids to start learning to use their imagination again and learn to be a bit more self-sufficient. Let's go outside and collect rocks. Let's go paint stuff. Let's go do things, but you don't have to be 24/7 because it's going to be draining. And when you're drained and on empty, everybody's drained in your home. So really, really, really look at your schedule. Secondly, a part of that, if you have a significant other you live with, a spouse, someone that you co-parent with, get on the same page with that. Say, hey, what do we want to do this week? What do we want to accomplish this week? And so when you're unified, especially when your kids are old enough to understand, especially 6 and up, 7 and up, saying to them openly, hey, if the weather looks good, on Monday, Tuesday, we're going to do this. On Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to be home and doing this, and telling them what they're going to do and what to expect. So they know, number one, what they're working towards for fun activities, but also to the reality that there's going to be just some days it's going to be quiet, we're going to be home, and it's okay. So that's step number 1. Set up your week for success. Step number two, you ready for this? Schedule out your day. I cannot tell you how many times I've repeated this to the women I mentor in our team of business leaders. And I believe in this so much. And I'm going to tell you a little story. Today, I did not do what I always do. Today, I slept through my alarm. Today, I didn't have a plan. And today went to complete shit this afternoon because I didn't do what I always do. And I sat there and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I'm about to teach a webinar tonight about how to get through a busy schedule and working with busy moms and sharing successes. And I just totally botched my day. Like, what am I doing? What a hypocrite. I'm an ass. Excuse my mouth. But that's what I thought to myself. And I'm like, I'm either going to sit here and lie and be like, oh, everything's great. Or I'm going to be honest with you guys. And I'd rather be honest with you. I lived the day that was so tough today because I didn't do what I'm going to tell you to do. And it just reiterates again to me why this is so important. So because of that, the whole day was a blur. I was a mess. I still did my workout. I still got my work done before heading to the softball field. I'll apologize now. My 3-year-old's banging at the door because they just got home from the field. So that's real life right there too. But it was a mess of a day and I felt anxious. Matt got home and I was like, oh, what did I do today? I feel like I've done nothing today. And he's just like, Erin, take a breath. And I got myself together. But my point of sharing that is I know how it feels to have a day that goes crazy. So typically 364 days a year, what I do is I wake up about 15 minutes before my kids get up. And I know for a lot of you, you're probably like, oh my gosh, why did you say I have to wake up earlier? I don't want to wake up earlier, but it makes a world of difference. So I'd encourage you, even before your partner wakes up, wake up 15 minutes before them. Go make yourself a cup of coffee and catch your breath. Because here's the thing. When you have that moment to catch your breath, you get to adjust yourself. You get to set the GPS for the day. And you get to take control of your steering wheel of how everything's going to go in your home. Now, it doesn't mean things aren't going to go wrong. Doesn't mean kids aren't going to get hurt or someone's going to get sick or your spouse is going to call you and say, I forgot to send out the insurance bill. Can you drop that off? Or can you swing by my mom's? Or things are going to happen. But when you wake up with an intent and give yourself a window to get up about 15 minutes before everybody, it gives you that moment to really set the expectations of the day of what you want from it. Because in the end, when you're the parent, you're the parent. The kids are not in charge. And I can tell you from true experiences, having 4 of them and my husband working this whole time out of the house, they try to take me over. Like, and I love my children, but some days it feels like war as to who's in charge and who's not in charge. And when I have that 15-minute window to set the tone for what I want to achieve for our day, it becomes I'm a lot more confident now when I approach my herd of humans to say, hey, this is the expectation of the day and this is what we're going to do. So schedule your day. So what I would advise you to do is when you wake up, make your cup of coffee, get a piece of paper and pencil, and block out your day in half-hour to hour increments. So let's say you're up at 6 o'clock for your cup of coffee. By 6:30, you know your kids may be up. Like my kids are early birds. They're up at like 5:30, but I'm going to say 6:30 just to make this simple. So your kids are up at 6:30. You schedule from 6:30 to 7:30 is breakfast and getting dressed and ready for the day. Then maybe from 7:30 to 8 is when you're going to do your workout. Then from 8 to 9 is when we're going to pick up our rooms. We're going to get ready. We're going to pack snacks and we're going to go off and do some kind of activity. And then at 9 to 10, 10 to 11, you're like, oh, at 12 o'clock, we're going to have lunch. So from 12 to 1 is lunch. 1 to 2 is quiet time. Then maybe, 3 to 5, you break down your day so you have an expectation of when you're going to do what, because it creates urgency. Again, I'm going to go back to laundry because I hate folding laundry, right? I hate it. But if I schedule from 3 to 4, we're going to fold all 7 loads of laundry for my huge family. I'm going to get it done in that 1 hour because I know I have to leave at 4:30 for a softball game at the field. It creates that urgency versus putting it off, putting it off, putting off, putting off, and then you never get it done. And then you look at the afternoon and you're like, oh my goodness, where did my day go? Another thing about scheduling your day is when you talk to your kids in the morning, you say, hey, this is what we're going to do today. And you present it like this is already the plan. This is what's happening. And I'm mom. This is what we're going to do. We're going to have lunch at this time. We're going to have snack at this time. Doesn't mean you're not going to change the game plan. But no matter what, we're presenting it as if we're in charge. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It makes sense to me. It's how I manage my husband too. He'll probably watch the recording and laugh at me. Okay, so step number 3. Step number 3, the last thing is, I really want to encourage you guys as you're stressed, frustrated, overwhelmed, thinking about your schedule, constantly putting everybody else first, right? Because I know for many of us, or at least myself, I've always struggled with feeling like I was second. And not that I was frustrated I was second, but I always put everybody else first. And I'd make a to-do list of the day, but I'd never have myself on my to-do list. I would never do anything for me. It would always be, the kids have a doctor's appointment. My husband needs this. My job needs this. I have to go to this meeting. I have this conference call. Everything was prioritized for everyone else first and never was me. And I'll tell you that the Erin you're seeing now, the person that's talking to you now with this energy and this excitement and this belief, is not the same person I was 6 years ago. Not. And honestly, the biggest change has been finally, for the first time ever, and now consistently, almost 6 years in, putting my oxygen mask on myself. Like truly taking the time to take care of me. So I encourage you guys to think about that. What can you do to take care of you, to be a little bit selfish, because it's not selfish. Because when you take care of yourself, you can't help but be a little bit happier, a little bit more energized, so you can take care of everybody else around you. And when you're more energized and happier and can take care of other people around you, everybody benefits. Everybody. They notice it over time. They really, really do. And it becomes this change that, for example, anytime I do my workout, I work out at home, right in my living room, right? 30 minutes a day, roughly, give or take. Sometimes I'll do a shorter program. Sometimes I do a longer program. I can't help but think, when my daughters become mothers, because of the actions I'm taking now, even with our busy schedule, but carving out just that little bit of time, are they going to be able to do the same thing for themselves? And I would hope, because I've created that foundation of this is just what you do. You take care of yourself. You have other mom friends. You have a girls' night out every once in a while. If you want to buy those shoes, buy those shoes, right? Like, just do it. Like, take care of yourself too. You matter too. And at the end of the day, if our actions show our kids that, yeah, you can balance being caring and giving and taking care of the others around you, but also it's good to take care of you. Wouldn't you want that for your kids in their future? Like, do we want to raise our next generation to just take care of everybody else, but run themselves ragged so they're unhappy, depressed, anxious, and miserable? No. I can say I was that. I can say I was that for a long time. I can say I struggle with that huge. And I'm forever grateful that I finally said yes. Yes to taking care of me. So I advise you, my advice, partner up with a friend. find a friend. And if you don't have a friend, shit, I'll be your friend. This is what we do. This is what my team does. We help other women lift each other up so we can genuinely be our best selves. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing like a cult or anything. Like, I hope I'm not offending anybody by saying that, but I'm just going to say it. It's nothing weird, but it's all about inspiring each other to just do something good for yourself. So here's the deal. I'm just going to put this out there. So it's July 16th. I'm checking the date. On Monday, there's 2 things happening with the ladies I work with. So if you're from our virtual gym and community group and you're watching this, you probably already know already. If you're somebody who follows me on social, especially in Instagram stories, you probably know already. But I'm just going to totally throw it out there that there's 2 things happening. And I don't want you to think I'm being pushy at all, but I just can't help but share this. So number 1, we're offering an opportunity for people to join us for 7 days of clean eating. So here's the thing, knowing that we're all trying to make this adjustment, this shift, this change to work on ourselves, but sometimes committing to something for 30 days and even 21 days may feel a little daunting, and I get that. That's why we're offering a 7-day group for clean eating. So basically, you'll become a part of our virtual community of over 400 people. And this group started right when the pandemic happened. And we've been lifting each other up the whole time through. And we've got first responders, stay-at-home moms, working moms. We've got people that are just professional women hustling to take care of themselves. We've got grandmothers, we've got retirees, we've got literally everything, right? So you'll get access to our virtual gym and community group. You'll get access to 7-day workout program, which is 30-minute workouts. And it's perfect because it's great for all fitness levels, honestly, which is awesome, by our trainer, Megan. You'll get a 7-day week of clean eating. So you're going to get a full meal plan with multiple options. So you're not like just looking at the one, like, oh, this is dinner for Monday. This sucks. I won't eat this. My kids won't eat this. There'll be multiple meal options you can choose from. And on top of that, there's even a vegan section too. So there's flexibility. You're also going to get, and this is the icing on the cake, because I know we're busy and we don't have time for anything. So if I can tell you, you don't have to cook for 1 meal a day for yourself, that is like heaven to me. I'm just going to be honest, it's heaven to me because I don't have time, right? My kids might want PB&J for lunch. That's cool. I'll give them PB&J. But I don't want to make myself some like funky salad or whatever, or some like big meal. So for 1 meal a day for the 7 days, you're going to get our superfood shake. So you can get plant-based or a whey isolate blend. For me personally, because I know I have enough animal product in my life, I drink the vegan Shakeology. So here's the thing. I've heard people say, oh, I don't need Shakeology. I have this protein drink from GNC that I love that's a protein drink, right? And I get it. But here's the thing, and I'm going to be straight up with you guys like I have been the whole webinar. The majority of the people in this country are not protein deficient. If anything, we consume more protein than we actually should. What I know I am is a busy mom, is nutrient deficient. I don't have time, energy, or an interest, truth be told, to make myself multiple veggies and fruits a day and try to find fresh superfoods from Trader Joe's and this place and that place and shift this stuff in. I don't have time to make these special smoothie drinks. I don't. I don't. It stresses me out, gives me anxiety. I don't have time for that. I love you people that do. I really, really do. I applaud you. I slow clap you. I admire you. I can't do that. I refuse to drive myself crazy to do that. So I have Shakeology once a day. I've had it for the last almost 6 years. And I can't say it cures anything. What I can tell you for me, I've struggled with IBS my whole life until I consistently started drinking Shakeology once a day. I I can't tell you it's a miracle in a glass, even though it's helped me curb my sweet cravings like never before, honestly. And I can't actually, no shit, I will say it. It's magic. It's magic because I'll tell you, about a week in is right when you start seeing your energy increasing because you're finally giving your body the tools you need to get the energy you need to be successful, to keep up finally throughout the day. So instead of skipping meals for the 7 days of clean eating, you get one shake a day, you get a meal plan, you get 30-minute workouts, all for 30 bucks. Like, come on, $30. I have spent triple that in the past at Target going to buy things I didn't need. And this is an opportunity for you just to try it. So that's option number one. Option number two for next week is I am hosting a free 5-day coach workshop. So for those of you, and this is for really those people out there that, number one, want a backup plan. Like, you don't know what's going on with your job as far as layoffs and what's happening. People who want to take control of their health. People who are struggling to think about the fall and what they're going to do when their kids may or may not go back to school. People who just want to find something that gives them passion and purpose like they've never before, like never thought before. And people who are dreamers that had a dream at like maybe 7 years old of going to Hawaii to say I do. But somehow in life, all of a sudden you realize, well, that's not going to happen because, shit's expensive. I can't do that. And you just now would love to maybe someday be able to go and like renew your vows in Hawaii. And this may be that thing that helps you chip away at some debt that you've had, that maybe you can put money aside towards a future vacation or that trip you've always wanted to take, right? And I have to say, income's not guaranteed. Anything you do at Beachbody has to come down to work, effort, grit, determination, being coachable. That's what the coach workshop is. It's a sneak peek. Try it before you invest in yourself kind of thing, where you can learn about becoming a coach. And then if you become a coach, we'll walk you through it all and mentor you and teach you even more tips like this on how you can apply it to your business and building a life of purpose, because that's what it's given me. It's given me a gift, and I want to share that with you guys. So here's the deal. Either send me a message, shoot me an email for those of you watching the recording from my newsletter. Send me an email if you'd like to access the coach workshop, if you would like to do the clean week. If you are somebody watching the recording or watching it live and your coach invited you from our virtual gym and community, shoot them a message. We'll get you set up and started. And I'm so excited for you guys. I'm so excited for you guys because no matter what comes from this, I know without a doubt, if you apply any of those tips I gave you, even just one, you'll notice a difference. And I believe in you. I just want you to start believing in yourself. Okay? So thanks for hopping on. I appreciate it, for hanging out with me for the last 34 minutes and 29 seconds. And I hope you have a great night. And I will talk to you soon. I will keep an eye out for the stories and you tagging, and then announce a winner Saturday morning. All right. Thanks for hopping on with me. Bye.